BTS news today. Shocking news comes from the world of K-pop, especially from the legendary group BTS. A private letter written by Jungkook to Park Jimin leaked to the public and immediately made an uproar throughout the army in various parts of the world. The emotional letter contained Jungkook's deep confession to his best friend and groupmate, Jimin, with one opening sentence that hits the heart: "I'm sorry." The letter holds many unspoken wounds, pent-up affection, and repentance is not easy. The leak of this letter is not only a discussion among fans, but it also attracted international media attention because it opened up the other side of personal relationships between two BTS members who have always looked so strong and harmonious. The content of the letter itself reflects how deeply Jungkook feels for Jimin. In paragraphs written in neat, stressful handwriting, Jungkook reveals the things he has been keeping close. He wrote about the past, about the mistakes he had made, about the moments he overlooked, and about how much guilt he harbored, because Jimin wasn't always by Jimin's side when he needed him most. In every sentence, there is a painful honesty. Jungkook seemed to open his whole heart, without being filtered, without being wrapped by sweet language. He wrote it as it was raw, painful, yet so beautiful. Which makes this letter even more heartbreaking is the part when Jungkook mentions that he is often too late in his busy life, too focused on himself. "I didn't realize Jim was lonely." He said that he could feel the slowly growing distance between them, but chose to ignore it. "I think we're fine," Jungkook wrote, "but I was wrong. I was so busy being BTS's Jungkook that I forgot to be Jungkook for Jimin." One part that made many ARMY shed tears was when Jungkook writes down memories of their training nights as trainees. He recalled how Jimin used to always be the one to comfort him when he felt like a failure. "You always tell me that I can get through everything," Jungkook wrote, "but when you get hurt, I don't say the same to you. I just shut up. My silence was my biggest mistake." Not a few fans felt very emotional reading the final part of the letter. There, Jungkook wrote a sentence that seemed to be the peak of his emotions. "If I could turn back time, I would choose to sit quietly beside you that night, listen to your story, and hug you. But I can't. I can only write this letter. Hope you know that I'm sorry." The letter itself was first spread through an anonymous post on a South Korean online community platform. Although it is not known who leaked it, many believe that the letter was indeed written by Jungkook because of his characteristic handwriting, distinctive style of language, as well as various emotional details that can only come from him. It didn't take long for the letter to spread to Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Hashtags such as #JungkookLetter, #DearJimin, and #Kookmin top trending in various countries, from South Korea to Brazil, from Indonesia to France. The reaction of the fans was very mixed, but most feel empathy and emotion. Many have revealed that this letter is a clear proof of the very deep relationship between Jungkook and Jimin. Not just an ordinary friendship, but rather an emotional bond formed through joy and sorrow, tears and laughter, successes and failures that they went through together for more than a decade. Some fans even referred to the letter as the most beautiful guilt poems of a friend for his best friend. However, the leak of this letter also caused controversy. There are those who feel that private letters like this should not be made public, especially without the permission of the owner. Many were worried that Jungkook would feel devastated knowing that his deepest feelings are now public consumption. Some of the biggest fan accounts on Twitter even called for everyone to stop spreading the letter further and start respecting their idol's privacy. "If we really love Jungkook and Jimin, we will not make their wounds a spectacle," write one of the accounts of the international fan base. In the midst of the ARMY's reaction frenzy, big questions also arise. What really happened between Jungkook and Jimin to make Jungkook write a letter full of regret? Is this related to the rumors that appeared some time ago about the emotional distance between the two during the draft? Or could it be that this is the final expression of a conflict that has never been revealed before? Some sources say that Jimin and Jungkook did have a hard time, especially after the two lived separate military lives. Communication limitations and emotional stress coming from military life. It was cited as a trigger for the emergence of distance in their relationship. In fact, some speculate that Jimin once felt very lonely during that transition, and Jungkook, who used to be his resting place, was not present as usual. This is reinforced by some of Jimin's past statements about his difficulties, adapt, and miss the togetherness with other members. However, until now there has been no direct confirmation from Jungkook or Big Hit related to the authenticity and context of the letter. Jimin has not made any statements. However, the emotional tension that arises from the letter has made many reflect. It's not just about the relationship between two K-pop stars, but also about the importance of communication, presence, and sincerity in maintaining meaningful relationships. Most fans hope that this letter will precisely be a good start, a bridge to strengthen their relationship. Many of them wrote messages of support, both for Jungkook and Jimin, in the hope that they can understand each other and forgive each other. This letter may have leaked accidentally, but the message it carries is very sincere. We've all been wrong, but the courage to admit it is a form of true love. A Filipino soldier posted on Instagram that what's interesting is how this letter also resonated with many outside the K-pop community. Some public figures, journalists, until psychologists talk about the emotional impact of the letter. They highlight how pressure as a public figure can make someone suppress their emotions for so long, until it finally exploded in the form of such a touching confession. Jungkook, who has been known as the Magne, is strong and full of spirit, showing her fragile and human side in the letter, something rarely seen on stage or in interviews. Now, the world awaits how this story continues. Will Jimin reply to the letter? Will they talk about it publicly? Or will they choose to solve everything personally? Whatever it is, ARMY hopes both remain strong, stay together, and keep taking care of each other, as they have always done since the beginning of their careers. The letter is not just about regret. It is a symbol of deep affection, recognition of failure in being a good friend, and also the hope to fix everything. In a world of pressure and expectation, sometimes one simple sentence like, "I'm sorry," can mean more than 1,000 sweet words. And for Jungkook, that phrase is probably the best way to say, "I still care, and I don't want to lose you." For many fans, this is not the end of their story, but rather the beginning of a new, more honest, and understanding chapter. For as they always say in their songs, as long as we are together, everything will be fine. And as for Jimin, perhaps at this moment he was reading the letter in silence, smile, and then say it in your heart. "I know, Jungkook. I know." Reactions from BTS fans in various parts of the world continue to flow nonstop. Many of them feel like reading a real-life drama, which is so intimate and heartbreaking. Some even admitted to reading Jungkook's letter while crying, feel as if they are witnessing a new chapter, the vulnerable and full of emotion in BTS's long journey. This shows that the emotional closeness between idols and their fans is not only formed from songs and concerts, but also from a deep sense of empathy for their personal struggles. One of the most touching aspects of the letter is how Jungkook describes his guilt as something that continues to haunt him. He said he often woke up in the middle of the night and thought about how he should act when he saw Jimin sad. In the letter, Jungkook wrote that he knew Jimin was good at hiding wounds with a smile. However, Jungkook also admitted that behind all the smiles, he knew Jim wasn't okay. He saw the look in his friend's eyes that slowly dimmed, but still do nothing. "Every time I see you trying to smile for the sake of all of us, my heart is broken." But I kept quiet.